Hello my dear students. In today's video we will learn about ordering number, comparing number and round off to the nearest tenth and hundred. So let's start with ordering number first. So ordering number is arranging the number in order or in sequence. It can be from starting from the greatest to the smallest and from the smallest to the greatest. So when we are here, let's take an example here. Now here I have this whole number. What we're going to do is when you arrange a number, always remember that you need to compare each digit starting with the digits of the greatest place value or the smallest value. Now here, this first example, we're going to arrange this number from the greatest to the smallest first. So let's start. Now I have this whole number here. Let's compare how many digits they have. Your first number has 4 digits. Second number, 3 digits. Third number, 4 digits. And the last, 2 digits. That means this 2 number has got 4 digits. That means they have the greatest place value here. That is 4 digits. That is of thousands value. Thousands. And this is of 100. And this is of 10. Since we're going to arrange from the greatest to the smallest, we'll write this, that is 4 digits number first. Let's write this number first. That is 4 digit number. And then 5505, and then comes 3 digit number, and last 2 digit number. Now here, when we look at this number, we find that this first and the second digit have got the same number of digits. So what do we do in this case when they have the same number of digits? How do we know which one is greater? What we have to do is we will compare each of the digits number starting from the thousands place. That is, in this number, your greatest place value here is 5, and here your greatest place value is 5. That means it's same. So what we do is we'll go to the next place value. That is of the 100. Now let's compare the digit in the 100 place. So here 0 is in the 100 here, and here 5 in the 100. That means we know that 5 is greater than 0. That means this number is greater. So we write this number, that is 5,505 first, and then comes the second, that is 5,005, and then comes this 3 digits number and last 2 digit number. So we have a number that is 5,505, 5,005, 550 and 50. So that's how we arrange a number from the greatest to the smallest. Now let's look at another example here. Now here we're going to arrange this number not from the greatest to the smallest, but from the smallest to the greatest here. Now when we look at this number here, we find that all this number has got the same number of digits. That is 4, 4, 4, 4. So how do we know that which number is the smallest? So what we have to do is, since they have same number of digits, we are going to compare each of the digits starting from the thousands place. So let's compare the thousands place. Now here, your first number, digits number, which is in the thousands is 1. And here is also 1, 1, and 1. That means all the thousands digits number is same. So what do we have to do is, since they have same digits in the thousands place, we'll go to the hundreds place. So here, let's go to the 100. This one is 0. This number has got 5 in the hundreds place, and this one is 5. That means this is 0 and this is 5. That means we know that 0 is smaller than 5. So we'll remove this. We'll make a cross here. Since we're not going to take this is bigger, we're going to start from the smallest. So we'll keep the 0 here for some time. And then here, your second digit number here is 5. That means this is bigger, so we'll keep aside here. And then let's go to the last number. That is, your last number is 0 here. That means 0 is smaller than 5. 0 is smaller than 5. So we're going to look at this 2 digits number. Done? So that means this 2 number has got the same place value in the second place. Second place. That is in the hundreds place. And this 2 is of 5, 5. That is, these 2 numbers are bigger than this 2 number. Right? Since they have the same digits, and we know that these 2 numbers are smaller than this number, So we would compare this two number. Now since they have got the same number, same digit in the second place, we'll go to the third place, that is in the tens place. So let's compare again the third digit number. That is, this tens digit number is 5 here, and here is 6. That means we know that this 5 is less than 6. So that means this number is smaller than this number. So this number is the smallest. So we write this number first. That is starting from the smallest. That is 1056. And then comes this number. That is 1060. That means this 2 is done. Now the remaining is this 2 number. So let's compare out of these 2, which number is the smallest. Now here, we know that the first digit number and the second digit number is same. So we'll go to the third digit number. So here the third digit number in this number is 0, and here is 5. That means we know that 0 is less than 5. So we'll go with this number. That is, your third number will be 1504, and then comes last this number, that is 1550. So that's how we arrange a number from the smallest to the greatest by comparing each of the digits in all the number. So that's how we arrange a number in order, that is in sequence, from the greatest to the smallest, and from the smallest to the greatest. Now let's quickly go to the comparing number now. Here, to compare a number, we use two signs. That is, this two sign we use. So what does it mean by the sign here? That means this sign means that is less than. Less than. That means this sign says that is less than. For example, how do we use this sign here? For example, I've given a number here that is 5005 and then 5505. So when we look at this number, we see that this number is bigger than this number, because this number is of a value of 5005 only, and this is of 5505. So this is less. So we use this less than sign. That is, how do we read this number? We read this number as 5005 less than 5505. So that's how we use this less than sign. Now let's go to the greater sign here. Now here, this sign shows means is greater than. So how do we use this greater than sign? For example, I've given a number here that is 5505 and 5005. Now when we look at this number, your first number is greater than this second number. That means this number is greater. That's why we use the sign that is greater than. That is 5005 greater than 5005. So that's how we use this less than sign and greater than sign to compare a number. For example, let's take an example here. So let's have a look at this number, this two number. We have this first number here is 1880, and then this number is 1080. So let's compare. Now this one is 1880. That means this number is bigger than this number because it has got a value of 1880, and this is just 1080. That means this number is greater. So we use this greater sign. That is the sign. Now, that's how we read the number as 1880 greater than 1080. To make it to remember, that is easy to remember, to make it easy to understand, what we have to do is look at this mouth, which is wide open towards this number. Now this mouth is wide open towards this number. That means this sign shows that this number is greater. That's why this mouth is wide open towards this number. So whenever the mouth is wide open towards any of the number, know that the number is greater. So this mouth is wide open towards this number. That means this number is greater and this number is smaller. And then here, this mouth is wide open towards this number. That means this number is greater and this number is smaller. So that's how we use the less than sign and greater than sign to compare a number. Now we will go to the round off to the nearest 10 and 100 place. To round off the number to the nearest 10 and 100, what we need to do is we need to know the rules. There are two rules is there. Rule number 1, it says when your number or your digits is less than 5, that is 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, that means it says, the first rule, it says to round down the number, or it says remain the same. That means if your number or your digits is less than 5, that means it says remain the same. Now the second rule, it says if your number is equal to 5 or more than 5, it says round up to the number, that is to the next number, or increase by 1. So these two rules we're going to use to round off to the tens place and the 100th place. Now let's go to the 10 first. For the 10th place. So let's take an example. For example, I have this number here, 4,632. Now we are going to round up the number to the 10th place. So here, what we have to do is, since we're going to round up to the 10th place, first find out which digit is in the 10th place. So let's start from the back. That is, this one is in the ones. We know that this digit is in the ones. And this digit is in the 10. That is ones, 10, 100,000. So 10 is your digit number 3. So make a circle. We are doing it for the 10. So make a circle on the 10th place. Done? And then what we have to do is, the next step is, we will look at the digit number which is to the right of this 10th place. So to the right of your 10th space is this one space, that is 2. So we will make an arrow and point towards the right of this digit number, that is the 10th space, that is the unit space, or the 1 space. So this 1 space digit number we have is 2. So we have to come, now this 2, we'll see whether this 2 comes under this first rule or the second rule. That is, we know that 2 is less than 5. That means this 2 comes under this first rule. What it says? Round down, or it says remains the same. So what we're going to do is, your tens number, that is your C, which is in circle, will remain the same, since your digit, which is to the right of the same space, is 2, that is less than 5. So it says, the rule says remains the same. So we write the same digit number, that is 3. And this number, the digit which is to the right of this tens, will replace by 0. And then to the left, the remaining digit to the left will remain the same. That is 4,632. When rounded to the 10th space, the answers we get is 4,630. That means, remember, this digit which is to the left, to the right of the digit will be the decisions maker. This number which is to the right of this 10th space digit will decide whether you will follow, whether this 10th space will come under this first rule or second rule. Now let's take another example. That is, here I'm going to take 2, 3, 2, and 5 here. So my number here is 2,325. Now let's round off this number to the 10th place. We know that your 10th place digit number is this 2 here. So make a circle. Same thing. The second step is find out which digit number is to the right of this 10. So make an arrow. We know that to the right of this 2 is 5. Now let's see whether this 5 comes under this rule number 1 or rule number 2. We know that this is 5. That means it comes under this rule. It says equal to 5 or more than 5. That means this is 5, that is equal to 5. What does it say, the second rule? It says round up, or it says increase by 1. So what we have to do is, your digit number which is in the 10th space will increase by 1. That is, your 2 becomes 3. And the digit which is to the right of this tens will replace by 0. And the remaining digit which is to the left will remain the same. That is 2,325 rounded to the 10th. We get our answers as 2,330. And let's go for the 100th place. Let's take another example. I'm going to use the same number. That is 4, 6, 3, 2. we will round up this number to the 100 place. So first what we have to do is we have to find out which digit number comes under the hundreds place. That is ones, tens, and 100. That means your 6 comes under 100 place. Make a circle. Where to remember where do we need for the 100? So circle the 100 digits number. And the next step, that is to find which digit number comes to the right of this digits number. That is your 100. So to the right of your 100 comes is your tens digit number, that is 3. Now this 3 will decide whether we're going to follow the first rule or the second rule. Now this 3 is less than 5. That means it will come under these first rules. So first rule it says remains the same. So your digit number which is in the 100 place will remain the same. That is 6 will be 6. And the digit which is to the right will replace by 0. That is 0 for this and for this 0. And to the left digits number remains the same. That is 600. That is when you round up this number, that is 4,632 to the 100th place, we get our answers as 4,608. Now let's take another example. 2,386. Let's round up this number again to the 100th place. We know that the digits number 3 here is in the 100th place. That is ones, tens, 100. Make a circle. And then next step is to look to the left of your 100th place. To the left of your 100th place is your 10th digit number, right next to this 100. So here is your number. Here is your digit, that is 8. That means this 8 comes under this second rule. It says more than 5, the second rule. So that means it says increase by 1. That means your 3, which is in the 100, will become 1 more. That is 3 becomes 4. And the remaining digits to the right, replace it by 0. Or we replace it by 0. And to the left, remains the same. That is your number 2,386. When rounded to the 100th place, we get our answers as 2,400. So that's how we round off to the 10 and for the 100. Remember, to round up to the 10 and 100, we have to follow these 2 rules. That is rule number 1, less than 5. If your number is less than 5, we round down or remains the same. And rule number 2, it says if your digit is equal to 5 or more than 5, we round up to the number or we increase it by 1. So by following these 2 rules, you can find your rounding number for the tens and for the hundreds. So that's all for today. In the next video, we will learn how to find the halfway between 2 numbers, and also we will learn how to locate a number shown on a number line. That's all for today. See you again in the next video.